All right, everybody. As promised, 6 p.m. Everything went well today, and it let me go live, so I got access to my pictures and everything else. But welcome to the Black Belt Hunting and Fishing Report, sponsored by Rayco Industrial, my employer. You could get in touch with me, guys. Any industrial contractor needs, steel mill, paper mill, sawmills, we do it all, guys. Got a good group of guys that work for us, and got a great boss. But hey, appreciate Ray for sponsoring the show. First person, please let me know that you can hear me. It says my mic's working, but you never know, guys, with technology. But we're gonna talk a little bit of hunting. We're gonna talk a little bit of fishing, some crappie fishing, some cat fishing, and go over some weather stuff, and hopefully you guys got some questions, and I'll try to answer them. But hey, Rusty, I did get it, and I'm gonna share it on here, buddy. Appreciate it, Rusty. We're gonna talk about it. I'll put the picture on here, the flyer, Rusty. Appreciate you sending me that, bud. I appreciate. I hope you can hear me fine, buddy. I don't know why the viewer's not showing up. There it goes. Now we got somebody. Now I got some people watching. Appreciate everybody tuning in, but appreciate you sending me that, Rusty. I'll go over that here when we get a few people on here. As a matter of fact, I'll share it because a lot of people watch this after the fact. Let's see. August the 20th, 10 a.m. at Roland Cooper State Park, the T-Pier. If my understanding right, they're going to name that T-Pier after Big Daddy Lawler. James Big Daddy Lawler. They're going to name it after Big Daddy, and it's going to be a little ceremony, which is, hey, that's great. Big Daddy loved that place, and it looks like the governor's going to be there, but it was August the 20th. I'll be there myself at 10 o'clock that morning. It's right there at Roland Cooper State Park. It's going to be a big deal, and I'm glad they're doing that and naming it after that. That way his legacy will carry on for generations and generations. I'm sure nobody in that area forget him. I catch myself trying to call him every day and talk to him about fishing and share stories with him. I miss that man. So, but hey, that's going to be a great event. I want to share that. And Rusty reminded me I saved it, so I appreciate you, Rusty, for sending that to me on Messenger. Like I said, we've been getting some rain, guys. I visited that area down there. Tuesday, I went to the paper mill at Pine Hill and visited Charles and Scott Ackerman and a few of my buddies, and looks like y'all been getting some rain also, which is great. That rain's going to help the river conditions. Get some more. People don't understand. I know the river's always moving, but you got to get rid of some of that stagnant water, guys. The stagnant water sits in these creeks and stuff, and I like for that water to be moving, especially in the river system. We've been getting enough rain. I went below the dam Tuesday in Millers Ferry Dam, and they had 2 gates open. And we're pushing some water, so I guess they're expecting a good bit of water to come from up north, above there, above Montgomery, which is good. If you like to catfish and you like to put jugs out, hey, below that dam, when they have 2 gates open, Travis tells me that's the time to do it. So there was a lot of current. They were generating, a couple of turbines that day, and they're making do with all this water and making as much power as they can. So, but hey, they had 2 gates open. I'm sure the upper part of the river, your long line jugs, I'm sure since the water's moving, but be in play. I know Joe Dunn's got some fresh bait at Dunn Sports. I seen him post about that. So, hey, you need some bait, go see him. And Lofton's Bait Company right there. I stopped by and got some minnows the other day. Last time I was down there fishing, but all those local businesses, guys, if you can spend money down there, hey, the ones that nice people and the ones that that are in the area, you need to spend money with them if you can. My buddy Scott Deese, he's at a conference in Wisconsin. I appreciate Scott. He's a good fella. He sent me some contacts. I'm trying to get into ARC Mill in Monroeville. I'm trying to move my butt down there, guys, and get me a fish camp in Camden. So if I get enough work down that way, you'll be seeing a lot more of my mug down there. So I'm trying to get me a fish camp down there. Hopefully later on this fall. I'm not in no super hurry, but give me a little bit of land and get me a fish camp down there, and I'll be right there in that area all the time and be able to give you a report on the river a good bit. So But hey, like I was talking about catfishing, we will talk about crappie fishing. I went to and put in at Holy Ground with my boss Friday. Me and him went up there, and I haven't fished. I really haven't fished that upper end of the Alabama River a lot. That's like my third time I went up there, and we went up in some creeks. And Friday, it was kind of cloudy and stuff. Water temperature was, 90 degrees, 91, and we found some creek channels in some of those creeks, and some of those stumps held some good fish. We caught 30-something fish and a lot of small fish, which is, I don't get aggravated catching small fish, but that's future generations of fish. I mean, a bunch of little 6, 7-inch little, I call them little turds, but there's a lot of them out there. We caught some good fish, a couple pound-and-a-half fish. Most of them whitefish. I went back Saturday with a friend of mine, Richard, and he had a new boat. And he wanted me to get out there and make sure everything was good on his units and get them all dialed in. And we started catching some fish, and I kind of noticed there wasn't the same amount out there. So I looked at that water temperature was 84 degrees. I was like, well, I need to go shallower. So I went on up in the creek and went shallow, and we caught some good fish. Caught some real good. That's a nice white crappie right there in his left hand. Caught some good fish. We end up with 18 or 20. This time of year, guys, if you catch 15, 20 crappie, you're doing good. This rain ought to stir it up. Ought to put a little color in the water. Remember, guys, downsize your baits this time of year. This is a weedless head, of course. That's a little 1.5 inch, little, shad type bait. It's a little bit of chartreuse and monkey milk. That's a great color when the water just got a little stain to it, but that's a weedless head. I use it a good bit, throwing down into stake beds and stuff. But be sure to downsize your baits. If you have to, get you some, I preach this all the time. Get you some split shot and run it with a 30-second jig below it. And those fish that are real picky, that will help you. Don't waste a lot of time on some fish that don't want to bite, guys. I mean, I see guys sitting on places way too long in the summer, and that many, you're just not going to get a lot of fish to fire up in a school. So just keep moving, trying to repeat that same kind of pattern. Navy, I don't know if you guys, I've shared it on this show. We do it a lot on Crappie Cast Live, but Navionics is your friend, guys. Navionics, you can get on your phone. John and I, he really showed me you can find a lot of fish sitting at home on the couch, by looking at maps like this. So you can see the blue area, it has the depth, but the gray area is a little bit deeper water. So that's a hole or a hollow before they flooded it. And you can see the lines down here on the south end of this little picture, down there at 6 o'clock. Those lines are close together. So that means that's a ledge. That means it drops very fast. You can see it here on the west side too. I know you can't see where I'm pointing my pen, but a lot of those places in those holes are a lot of places where people sink brush. If you find some stumps on that creek channel or everything, there's a lot you can find, guys, using Navionics. It's worth that little $50 a year. And the cool thing about it, guys, y'all see that little marker up there at 2 o'clock, that little pin I've got dropped? I can actually hit that, get the latitude and longitude number, and send it to somebody. So if I'm sitting there saying I'm catching fish at 32 degrees, blah, 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 34 degrees, I can send that to somebody. And it's nice to be able to locate fish like that. But Navionics is your friend. You need to take advantage of all this technology we have, guys. It's there. If you're really unsure, you're welcome to call me or message me. I'll try to explain to you and let you dial in. But you can, Navionics, and you got Lake Master with cards we have in units. But it's a very, you can look on here and it'll say Standing Timber. And next thing you know, you get in there, guys, and you see some, if y'all see right there in the middle of the screen where the black is right there, that's a side scan picture and it's zoomed in. Y'all see those pumpkins right there? Those are big black crappie. And, you see something, Standing Timber right on the edge of the lip, but that's what you're looking for. You're trying to put 2 and 2 together and be able to catch these fish. And that way there's no doubt. You're not wishing, you're not hoping. You're using all the technology. If you're using live scope, you're not. Throw you a buoy marker out. Use down scan, mark those fish. But, hey, I want to see everybody succeed and catch a lot of fish. And that's what you do when you put all this mapping stuff together. People always asking, why are y'all catching this many fish and all that? The same group of people that I fish with, Greg Hammett and Scott Dees and all these people that tune into this, we all fish the same way, guys. We take advantage of technology. We're not smarter than anybody else or nothing. We got a lot of time on the water, but take advantage of all of it, guys. I mean, it's there to take advantage of. And that necessarily don't mean they're going to buy it. But, hey, learn it. I have a lot of discussions with people on side scan. They're like, I'm not seeing nothing, Well, that means you're probably not seeing fish. I mean, if you run across something that looks like this right here, I mean, that is a ton of fish on top of a root ball. All that pepper stuff right there, that light color, that is fish. And there's a root ball, and where that beam's shining from left to right, all those shadows right there on the right, that is the shadows, just like the sun would be. That beam is throwing shadows. You find something like that, guys, you sit there and load the boat. So, don't depend on this time of year to just concentrate on catching a lot of fish. Hey, go out and spend a couple hours, mark some stuff, mark those root balls, mark that standing timber, mark those brush piles you come across, and for future reference, don't just get all caught up. Well, I'm not catching any fish, man. Hey, I'm marking stuff constantly. It's never a wasted fishing trip, guys. I used to be that way on my own, call nothing, but it's never wasted. Mark something, learn something every trip. I learn something every trip out, and not just making me a better caster or a better fisherman, but learning, crappie behavior. And I'm learning crappie don't do anything by accident. There's always a plan and always know where they're at. I told John today, I caught a fish, and Richard was with me. I caught a fish Saturday, probably 13 inches, pound a quarter, nothing, no monster, just a nice fish. And we were planning on keeping it. And it flopped off and hit the deck. And I stepped my foot on it. It slithered up from under my foot, hit the water, guys, done a complete 180 on top of the water, went straight back down that brush pile. And I was like, how the heck did that fish know that brush pile was right there? I mean, he literally was on the deck of the boat flopping, hit the water, skirted around on top of the water that deep, and went straight down. I was like, it's like a homing pigeon. I was like, that's crazy, like an old hunting dog, like John was saying, finding its way home. So they know where they're at all the time. And there's an area that they want to be in. So take advantage of all that. Ask questions. That's what these shows are for. If you think it's a dumb question, somebody else probably wanting to know it too, and it's not dumb. So be sure to ask it on this show or ask it on Crappie Cast. If you're unsure, heck, we want everybody I want to get everybody to send me pictures of fish constantly. Them enjoying it with their families. I mean, that's why we started all this stuff. That's why I'm trying to carry on this little podcast. I do have time to do it, and I'm blessed to be able to do it and have the ability to do it. So I'm going to keep doing it. We'll start getting more in the hunting aspect, but crappie fishing ought to be pretty good. This weekend's weather, high Saturday is 91. That's the time of year. 56% chance of rain. High Sunday, 90. It's going to be hot, guys. Just be prepared for it. If you can run an umbrella, get one. Be sure to drink water. Be sure to drink Gatorade. But we'll get into the next hunting season's coming up. It's dove season. And the great thing about it now, you can go to www.outdooralabama.com, and it tells you all the regulations about dove season, what you can hunt, what you can't hunt over, what you can top sow, what you can't. And looks like the North Zone's open at 12 o'clock September the 7th. That's most of Alabama. And then the South Zone's opens the 14th, the next Saturday. And that's Baldwin, Coffee, Mobile County. That's the lower extreme of the state. But that kind of kicks the hunting season off for everybody. And hopefully we don't get any cold weather or any cold fronts that run them off. But I'm looking forward to that. Football season's coming in right there too. Everybody around here loves football, and it's a great time of year. And I don't want to rush my life away at all, by no means. But I'm waiting on October, November. Like I said, I like to go to Lake Talc in October. I like to go to, and Fish Miller's Ferry in November. That is my favorite time of year. So I'm going to be down in that area working and fishing. And you see me, hey, say hey. You see a big camouflage boat and my fat head driving. Hey, wave me down. Hey, and say, hey, I do not mind at all anytime I'm on the water. I'm not that guy that minds. But y'all be sure to tune in tomorrow night, Crappie Cast. We got Dip coming on there talking about the kids tournament tomorrow. John and Jessica and Dip and them was raising. Everybody's sending $100 to John and Venmoing him, and $100 to buy 9 rods for kids, guys. And $100 is a lot of money. Don't get me wrong, but if I can make 9 kids smile for $100, I'm going to do it all the time. So John will be on there tomorrow night, and several people I know has Venmoed him the $100. Several of my friends, and man, I know just to have a rod and reel when I was a young kid, it lit me up. So I'm planning on being down there for that tournament. It's August the 10th. We'll talk about it more tomorrow with Dip on the show. But hey, get out there and enjoy yourself. Hey, throw some jugs out, catch some catfish. Really don't know what bass are doing this time of year. Bass guys don't share a lot of information. I don't blame them. There's a lot of tournaments and stuff going on. Us crappie fishing, we share a lot of information. Hey, if I'm catching them on a certain bait or certain, but I think the depth of water I caught those crappie in were, from 7 to 12, 13 foot. The thermocline was a little, after that. But if I can help any of y'all message me. Appreciate everybody tuning in. I know I make these things kind of short and sweet. Unless we have a guest on here, then we keep talking. But hey, Timothy, how you doing? Bill Lolly. But I try to keep this kind of going and just to share a few tips. And unless I get some questions, the questions really help me make the show carry on. I appreciate everybody commenting to keep this thing kind of going. And we'll get some stuff on here, talk about deer hunting's coming up. Alligator season's coming in. I talked to Hunter at the deer show, and I had people going to share alligator pictures with me because alligator season, I think it comes in August. It's a big deal. Big Daddy kept up with it a lot, but a lot of people love that stuff and draw it and wait years to get a tag. And I hope to be sharing some of that. We're going to be sharing some deer pictures, little kids especially, and a big buck contest they have in Wilcox County. Hopefully I'll get some information about that. But I appreciate all y'all support, man, and watching these things, especially crappie cast. It's growing. I couldn't ask for it to grow anymore. It's growing. Pick up sponsors every week. Our goal was to have 10 sponsors, and I think we're at 7. Ray sponsors this show at Rayco Industrial. I've got one on this show, and hey, if it grows some more, we'll keep sharing it. And we try to keep a circle of good people. That's what we want to do. This people that comment, people that watch the show, people that fish together. We want that. There's a lot of good people in this world. Don't let the news fool you guys. I mean, a lot of good people. There's way more love in this country than hate. So don't pay attention to the news, because I promise you, I see it every day doing these shows. I appreciate y'all tuning in. We'll be back next Wednesday, live again at 6. I'll be fishing this weekend, good Lord willing, and share some more tips with you. Hope just pictures. If y'all catch any fish, please be sure to send them to me, and I'll share them. But y'all tune in to Crappie Cast tomorrow night, live 7 o'clock. We're gonna have fun. Dip's gonna be on there. We're going to be talking kids tournament. We're going to be talking crappie fishing like always. Thank you again, guys. Man, there's been like 1,000 people watching this show after, a lot of people get home and get dinner and they sit there and watch it. The great thing about technology, this thing's recorded. It's on YouTube. It's on Facebook. So we'll see y'all next week, 6 p.m. live. Thank y'all.